Hi guys, welcome back. Tara Makes Up. I'm feeling very fall inspired at the minute, and it's time to start playing with some new colours, get out my comfort zone, and I for one love a bit of fall makeup inspo. Don't know about you. And I was looking through my channel, I was trying to think what is kind of the one colour that I haven't really played with, and I think it has to be green. Now for me, I know I love kind of olivey golden greens, but when it comes to more, that's Pad if you can hear someone making noises. I think it's a beautiful tone. I love an emerald green, I love olivey greens with golden, and I find they're closest to kind of a neutral if you want something that's like the softer approach to green. But today I feel like having a play with more kind of dual toned green. So that's where I'm kind of feeling some general fall inspo. So if that sounds good, keep watching. So I'm going to start with the Woolly to Skin Food moisturiser. Now this one is very heavily emollient, but I wanted to use this today as it's a nice affordable alternative to some of the more high-end, really emollient creams that I often use. As you can see, it just gives a really nice sheen to the skin as well. If you have really dry skin, this is incredible. So one foundation I've had an awful lot of questions about is the Surratt Dewdrop foundation. I am the shade 3, so it has this little kind of like, hopefully you can see it's like squeezy pump on the back. It is a liquid foundation, and I've really enjoyed this actually. I like it with my Refor brush. So I'm going to start with this. Now, this I think is kind of similar actually to the Pat McGrath one that you guys know I love. I feel like the coverage is kind of similar. This kind of has more coverage than you expect it to actually. And again, I feel like it's quite easy to manipulate the finish. So I'm just buffing that through my skin. I feel like I've already lost my summer colour. So, a nice even base. And again, I just think it's very perfecting, but it feels incredibly lightweight. It's not sticky, but it has a nice level of perfecting to it. So I'm going to take this palette by Tom Ford. This is Photosynthesex. Quite an interesting term there. And I just thought these were really pretty colours for autumn. I feel like it's so easy to go straight for the red tones and the rust, which I personally love and wear on the regular. Like, you guys see me use those colours a lot, and I have a tutorial coming up with like a red eyeshadow look and red lip look, so that's coming. But I wanted to kind of play with green because it's a bit more out my comfort zone, and I just thought these shades are kind of like another nice nod to autumn. So I'm going to start with the gold shade in this first, and I'm going to almost use this to kind of like slightly prime my eyelids, plus it will give me a nice tone to kind of mix the green into. And also adding a gold underneath will almost give a little bit more of like an olive tone. And I think if you're scared of green, try going more for like olives or greens with like golds in, because they're that little bit softer. So I'm just taking that golden shade, and I'm taking that quite far into the inner corner as well, so you can see it's just giving me a slight golden halo. So first of all, to get a wash, I'm going to use a brush that has a very kind of like wide domed head, and I'm going to start with the shimmery green in this palette, and I'm just going to start to wash that over the eyelid so that I build up some tonal depth, and I can start to blend that into the gold shade. I mean, even on its own, that's such a pretty colour. So by using that really big fluffy brush, what it's done is it's given me a very, very soft blend that when I now go in with the deeper, more kind of forest green shade that's very punchy, it's going to help all the blending be a lot easier and less stressful. So, I mean, even that is gorgeous. It almost has like a slight duochrome. But now I'm going to go in with a slightly more densely packed brush, and I'm going to take that close to my lash line, which also, because the shimmer is underneath, it's going to start to give it a little bit more reflection. So I'm keeping this quite close to the lash line and just looking to kind of cover the lid. And then back to the brush with a little bit more of that shimmery shade, and I'm going to go over that to bring that reflection back over. I'm focusing it on the centre of the eyelid and then just going backwards and forwards. Such pretty colour though. I'm going to go back to the gold now on a slightly smaller brush, and I'm just going to take a little bit more of that gold into the inner corner, because I think gold and green are a really pretty combo together. And it's almost like the equivalent of like a sort of sunset eye, but with more autumnal tones. Now I want to take some of this kind of like, it's almost like a sort of dark raisin rum shade. I'm going to take that on a pencil brush. This one's by Refor. I'm going to take that under the lower lash line so that we bring some shape, but we also start to bring in, there's like the tiniest bit of kind of like purple red undertone in this, which I think actually is really pretty with these colours. And then when I get to this point, I'm going to go back in and I'm going to start to take that onto the outer third with the pointy end of the brush. I'm not really flicking it out, I'm just giving, you can see I'm just starting to give a little bit more definition, and it's almost just making like a slight bit of liner along the lash line, just deepening it slightly. And then to tightline, I'm going to take the Kat Von D, this is the Cake pencil in brown. Find this a really, really long lasting tightline colour, and I'm actually going to tightline the inner waterline as well, so it has a slight smoky feel to it, but I'm not really going to kind of smudge it out too much. I'm just going to use it to deepen and add some depth into my waterline. So I like that we almost have a little bit of the kind of the matte undertone under the eye with these really beautiful kind of peacock shimmer tones. I think that gives it a nice bit of contrast with the matte and the shimmer. And then I'm going to go in one of these gorgeous Ritual de Fille pigments. Can you see this colour? It's like this gorgeous kind of gold purpley shift. I'm going to take a little bit of this just to bring a creamier element in, and I'm going to take that on the inner corner of my eye because I just think that gives a really pretty kind of shot of shimmer to it. Just gives it a little bit more interest. And it also kind of brings that matte colour from the Tom Ford palette to life a little bit more. And I just love the way that kind of captures the light, especially against the green. So next I'm going with a bit of Old Faithful. This is the L'Oreal Paradise Ecstatic Mascara. This is the waterproof one. And I'm going to do 2 layers of this and really layer the lashes up. And I'm also going to take some mascara at my bottom lashes as well. So I've just added 3 on this side, and I'm just going to add a couple to the other side. I think for concealer today, I'm going to use my Colourpop one because I haven't used it for a while and I always love this one. This is the No Filter Concealer, and it's nice and affordable. So I'm going to use a little bit of this one. This is quite peachy, this tone. I think this is shade medium 24. And I just find it's a really good one for kind of counteracting any darkness under the eye. So I'm just going to give that a buff and a smooth and use that to kind of finish off any extra coverage I need and just to brighten under my eye. Okay, so then I'm going to powder with one of my new favourite powders. This is by Terry, and it's the Hyaluronic Hydra Powder, and I have to say it does a really good job of kind of smoothing out pores. So I've been really enjoying this at the moment. I'm just going to use it with a small fluffy brush. It's very, very finely milled, feels like air on the skin. I like it for setting makeup. It's a new discovery to me, and I've been really enjoying this one in my pro kit. So I'm going for more kind of satin finish today. So I'm doing a light dusting all over, making sure I set my under eye area and just anywhere like around my nose and just kind of here. And then next up, I'm taking a bit of brow gel. This is by the Blink Brow Bar London. Now I still, as with any kind of gel or brow cream, I like to take a little bit of the excess off in a tissue, just so there's not too much. And then what I do first, my first trick is to kind of go like against the brow. So you kind of push the brow the wrong way. And then I find this little wand is so good for just really giving you a bit of precise definition with your hair. So if you like them to stick up a little bit more or look a bit more fluffy, this is a really, really good one to use. And again, another kind of new discovery to me that I'm really loving in my pro kit. So I just go through and do that to both brows. Then I'm just taking a bit of concealer just around the outside of my lip, just to make sure the lip line is nice and clean. Okay, so then I'm taking this lip pencil from Dior. This is Beige Lumiere, and I really love this colour actually for giving a bit of soft fullness to lips. And I'm just going slightly into the lip as well with that colour, because it has a little bit of sheen on it, which I actually find makes the lip naturally look a bit fuller. and leaving a little bit of a gap in the center, because now I want to go in with a lipstick that I think is kind of my like go-to current favorite, and it's by the new from Hourglass for their new Ghost collection, and it's the shade I Cherish. I mean, isn't that just like the most gorgeous lipstick ever? It's part of one of their Confessions lipstick range, and I'm just going to dot this on, and it's nice. It's kind of like a mix between a nude pink and a beige nude, so there's enough kind of like a rosy pink in here that I think it works really nicely with this eye look. Definitely turns more pinky on me. And as I normally do, I'm just going to tap, make sure everything's blended really nicely. And then let's do some cheeks, because we did powder. So I think I'm going to take, I have to do a tease for one of these guys. It's so beautiful. Look at this. This is for the NARS. Isn't that amazing? This is part of the NARS, the holiday collection, like I said. And then there's all these amazing, it's quite a few different cheek ones actually. I love that they've done like, look, they've done like threes as well. And I think, let me see if we take this one or we take the red one, because there's literally three and I love all the tones. Yeah, I think we'll go with this one. I'm going to take the middle shade actually, and I'm going to take that on a NARS brush, funny enough. And I'm going to use a little bit of that through my cheeks. And I quite like, because we've got the little hints of like shimmer and metallic, actually going a little bit more matte on the skin than what I normally do for this look. So I'm just building very, very subtly. And in between, I'm just going back to my foundation brush, which hasn't really got any product on now, but it's quite nice, just like an extra blend, even when you're working with powder. A little bit over the bridge of my nose. I nearly forgot to do my brows actually, so the only thing I'm going to do to add to my brows is use a bit of the Ardell Stroke Brow. I'm just going to go in and add a couple of extra hairs into the front of my brows. Now that we've got the brow gel dried, and I find this goes over quite easily actually. So hopefully you can see that just gives quite a nice soft bit of extra polish. And you can just keep going till you get it to the point where you feel like your brow is sufficiently filled in. So just going to give you a close-up of that gorgeous palette I used on my cheeks. So I'm wearing this colour, and now I'm going to use this as a very soft kind of golden highlight, because again I think it'll tone in nicely. Tone in? You guys know what I mean? Just add a nice bit of sheen with the gold that's already in the eye. And I really like this highlighter actually. It looks almost like a cream on the skin. It's not overly shimmery, it's more like a gleam. Last step, I'm just going to take one more coat of mascara, and that is just to blend in the individual lashes into my own. So just going over more on the outer corner, that little bit of extra volume and extra length. So that is the finished look. I really hope you guys enjoy that. I'd absolutely love for you guys to subscribe. Don't forget to follow me at Harry Makes It Up across my social media, in particular on Instagram, because that is where I am always trying new launches and just generally playing with makeup. So come follow me there. Hope you guys enjoyed that and you're inspired for some fall makeup looks. Don't forget to tag me as well if you are recreating anything. I love seeing you guys try the looks, and I'll see you soon for more. Thanks so much guys, bye.